On September 27, 1988, AT&T sent 28 television crews around the world to document the company's activities on that day. This is what they found.
Winds use time 518.
Checking today's weather, scattered showers predicted over the Pacific Northwest. Cloudy skies, a chance of rain in northern New England. Scattered showers are forecast for Florida. Clear skies for most of the rest of the nation.
It's Tuesday, 7:15 in the morning. I'm just finishing my night shift here on the Network Operations Center in Bedminster. Fortunately, it was a very quiet night. I'm satisfied. I can go home and sleep relaxed. I'm sure that the day crew can take care of the rest now.
September 27th, 1988, an ordinary Tuesday. From New York to Tokyo, from Chicago to San Antonio, people start their day pretty much the same. At 4,100 locations in 35 countries, in factories and field offices, in research labs and phone centers, more than 300,000 AT&T employees go to work. This is one day in the life of AT&T, a portrait of the people who make AT&T the right choice for millions of customers worldwide.
Well, it's 7:15 now. I'm off to Chicago to visit with a major customer. I have to be back here this afternoon or at Basking Ridge for an interview at 3:30 with Communications Week magazine. And following that, I have dinner plans this evening with one of our International Advisory Council members. I suspect that'll conclude around 10:30 p.m., that is.
Celebrating 20 years as Chicago's all-news station, WBBM Chicago.
On Wall Street yesterday, the Dow Industrial Average lost more than 5.5 points. It closed 2009.
When I first started working here, it took me a while to get used to working on the trading floor because it is such a hectic place to be. And after a couple months and a couple years, it seems to be getting easier and easier to work out here. AT&T Data Service, Alex, can I help you?
Hi, this is Kathy from Pershing. Our CRT went down.
Sure, row 11, be there in a couple minutes. Thank you, bye. I normally do between 8 and 12 calls in a business day. You guys busy today? Speed is really important here in order to assure the customer that everything will be up as soon as possible because the delay of time will cost them money. Okay, Kathy, I believe you're all set. Just need to make a little adjustment on it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day now.
You too.
Bye-bye. AT&T Data Service, Alex, can I help you?
It's WMC Memphis. Good morning. I'm Craig Robbins in the 79 News Center. It's partly cloudy this morning.
This is if you want a new card. Here at the kiosk at the Memphis International Airport, we arrange for calling cards to be issued to people. We will assist people who are having trouble making calls from the phones that are located throughout the airport, and we just generally try to be helpful.
Excuse me.
Yes.
We're trying to use the phone, and I'm trying to use the AT&T card. And I can't get a hold of AT&T.
If you dial 00, you will get the AT&T operator immediately.
Okay, great.
Okay? Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
From time to time, we would meet the customers, and we would tell them that we are AT&T operators, and they would say, wow, are you an AT&T operator? I can't believe I talked to a live AT&T operator.
It's a difference in talking to them on the phone and not knowing who you're talking to and meeting them face to face.
You look so familiar. Are you Elvis Presley?
No, not really. You simply insert your calling card into the phone and dial 01, your country code, your city code, and the number that you want to speak to.
Oh, that's fine. That solved the problem. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome.
When I saw the sign, I knew you could help.
All right. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Poland has a new prime minister. Party propaganda chief Mieczysław Wojtkowski was installed.
Ma'am, this is the AT&T operator. You have a call booked for Poland for 2 o'clock. Would you like that call early?
Dear, this is the overseas operator with AT&T. Your call to Russia? Okay, one moment, dear. Your party is there. One moment.
Hello, this is the AT&T operator on your call to Lebanon. This particular unit handles a lot of hard-to-reach places. A lot of war-torn countries, communist countries, where we don't have direct dial capability to get through. We have to use operators.
What city in Cuba are you calling? There's a man that books a messenger call like 2 or 3 times a month trying to get his fiancée to get over here, and they keep losing her visas and everything. And I feel bad for him. I'm real happy when he gets to talk to her, because at least they're getting a little closer to maybe getting together.
You really get a lot of satisfaction when you help, someone in a situation like that.
Okay, the operator's still ringing, sir. Stand by, okay? That's the operator in Odessa. Odessa is not known for her quickness. We will wait here and wait.
The cable ship Long Lines has laid more cable than any cable ship in the world, and has laid cables anywhere in any ocean that you can think of.
This is where the cable lays on. My job is to make sure it doesn't jump track. Nice t-shirt, huh?
Presently, the ship is here at Simplex. We're loading fiber optic cable, which will run from Hawaii to just north of Guam. It takes us about 30 days to load into 2 main cable tanks, and then we'll transit around to Hawaii and start our leg.
Got about 375 kilometer in the tank so far. And this tank on this trip will be taking up to about 2,600 kilometer, about 20 feet high in the tank, approximately. 2,600 kilometers is, say, roughly the distance between Chicago and L.A.
It's just one part of the Pacific link that eventually will go from the United States all the way to the Pacific, to Japan, and other countries. This will give us a better and more clear, concise telephone conversations, and giving more lines available to serve the AT&T customer.
Here in Bedminster, we're monitoring the AT&T Worldwide Intelligent Network 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're pulling into this center well over 500 billion bytes of information a day on a very sophisticated data network designed and implemented by the Bell Labs and our own AT&T people. It is the one single place that the entire AT&T network comes together.
Okay, so far today it's fairly quiet. It's Tuesday, the early part of the week, and the network is pumping along fairly normal.
This morning we did have a problem with one of our switching machines, the Houston 4SS switch, but we were able to work around it.
Right now it's 11:02 network time. In the last 5 minutes we processed 564,000 calls, and to the current time today we've processed 34.2 million calls.
It's critical for us not only to look at the domestic network, which is basically busy during the day and evening hours, but our international volumes pick up dramatically in the period of time from midnight to 6 a.m. So constant surveillance is required 7 days a week in order to assure our customers get what they want any time of the day, any day of the week.
Bedminster to London.
Bedminster to Tokyo.
Prices on the Tokyo Stock Exchange closed higher. The Nikkei average of 225 stocks up 165.81 points from the previous session.
The Data Show in Japan is the #1 event to reach customers and distributors for our data and data communications products. This is our chance to reach over 200,000 people this week. The theme of the AT&T booth is connectivity, and as if you look around our booth, you'll see Japanese PCs from every manufacturer. Because in Japan, it's Japanese PCs that we have to connect to. So we've connected from Japanese PCs from NEC, Hitachi, Fujitsu, to Japanese mainframes. And that's why I say AT&T is open. AT&T will open this.
Asia is a very important market to our future. Japan is the #1 market in Asia, and is the 2nd market in the world. We have a growing force in Japan of both Americans who are here and a growing Japanese employee base.
When you do business with the Japanese, personal relationships are very important. And we find that sponsoring a cultural event such as Bunraku gives our salespeople an opportunity to entertain clients, to actually be with them in a non-business setting.
Yeah, it looks spectacular. It really does.
Bunraku is the professional puppet theater of Japan. And this group is based in Osaka, Japan, and has been in Japan for over 3 centuries. Well, the troupe just arrived yesterday afternoon, long plane ride from Japan, and today is the first opportunity for them to get together with the technical staff here at the Japan America Theater to go over a lot of the details for tomorrow night's performance.
Here today, we've got to go through the seating list to make sure that we have all of our salespeople positioned next to the right customers, or even better yet, some new sales opportunities maybe that we haven't broken before. That's what we're looking at here. And what we have discovered is that as we sell to Japanese-American firms, we also cross paths with Japanese firms doing business here. We cross paths with Japanese here doing business back in Japan. We hit a lot of our marketing targets with one event. Works very well for us.
Good morning, Birmingham. WZZK with a September morning.
On September 27th, the AT&T sales force is hard at work, uncovering leads, making calls, providing integrated products and services to a broad range of customers.
Hi, Mike. How you doing? Okay, haven't seen you for a while.
Hi, Jim. Nice to meet you.
But and go over the standard features on a fax machine.
Today in Birmingham, Alabama, sales manager Mike LeBrun and account executive Laura Garrett visit a consulting firm interested in an AT&T fax machine.
It's a lower-end machine.
You know, we may be able to get along with the basic machine.
By and large, we're seeing more and more competition. Every account is competitive. We have to be aggressive in the marketplace. We have to go out and find customers rather than just wait for customers to call us.
Some of AT&T's best customers are other telephone companies. Here in Seattle, account executive Bill Rickard makes a follow-up visit on the sale of a switching system to GTE in the Northwest.
And this is the ISLU.
Okay, so we can have simultaneous voice and data for our customers.
The capabilities of the 5 ESS will allow us to remain competitive and offer the business and residents and customers of this area the latest and greatest in the state-of-the-art of services.
At the Chicago Premium and Incentive Show, AT&T sells products to businesses for use as a premium to sell their own merchandise.
We're saying, as part of that incentive, what about a telephone, something you use every day? We want the end person to receive some type of incentive to look at a book or a magazine or a folder and say, of all the things that I can pick from, why can't I pick a telephone? Why can't I pick an AT&T telephone?
Help us cut this size down to...
AT&T sells to itself as well. Microelectronics account manager Bob Reynolds meets with a Bell Labs engineer who needs a custom-designed integrated circuit board.
Great, great. Let's do it.
On this day, in 35 plants around the world, 28,000 manufacturing employees produce over 5,000 different products and components. From consumer telephones to silicon wafers, the goal is the same: quality and customer satisfaction.
So we all work as a team, the line keeps moving, and the work gets out.
Wins News Time 108.
In Manhattan, 50th Street remaining closed between Park and Lexington Avenues because of President Reagan's visit.
President Reagan made his final appearance before the United Nations General Assembly.
Hello, UN. This is New York TLC. That's it. Got a service on your 8053 going to Kuwait.
We carry television services just like we carry a telephone conversation. They go over normal AT&T facilities, send in TV for cable news network, CBS, NBC, the major networks. Just as an example, today we're carrying a UN feed. Ronald Reagan's giving his farewell address over there. We have to make sure that the customer's satisfied through the whole thing. NBC asked us to check a feed, and it was the Olympic feed, and given that it's a live signal today, it's very important that we get that quality just perfect, and so we're very attuned to the needs of the broadcaster on a service like this.
American Greg Louganis made history in the Olympics last night by becoming the first male diver to sweep the 3-meter springboard and the 10-meter platform gold medals in 2 straight Olympic Games.
Listen, our traffic to Seoul, Korea is building up. Do you have any capacity to handle some Korea traffic?
Prior to the start of the Olympics, folks from my organization met with the Koreans, talked over how they would handle the anticipated large volumes of traffic in Seoul, and also how we would handle any surges of traffic between the United States and the Olympics.
Okay, thank you.
The countdown continues this morning at Cape Canaveral for Thursday's scheduled launch of the Shuttle Discovery.
I work together with the people down at Greenbelt, Maryland, that work directly with people at NASA. We have telemetry that allows the space shuttle to talk back to the ground controllers. And these telemetry channels go over AT&T facilities.
Whether it's a call home or the crucial transmissions needed to keep the shuttle in flight, the people at the Network Operations Center work to keep the customer's line open and clear.
San Antonio weather mostly cloudy this morning.
Gracias por hablar AT&T. Me llamo Andrea. ¿Me permite su área código de teléfono?
Gracias por llamar a AT&T. Me llamo Héctor. ¿Me permite su clave de área?
Buenos días. Gracias por llamar a AT&T. Me llamo Marta. Si por favor me permite su nombre y número de teléfono.
We felt at AT&T that there was a need to handle the Hispanic market. Here at the National Bilingual Center, we handle all inquiries concerning their long-distance telephone bills. We answer any questions they might have on their leasing of equipment, and we also sell all products that we sell at AT&T.
Y el plan también del Reach Out America.
Response we get quite a bit from customers when they call and we answer in Spanish is a sigh of relief. It's in Spanish. It translates into gracias a Dios que era tiempo. So many people for so many years. For example, I don't ever remember my dad calling the Southwestern Bell or any of the phone companies to say, I've got a problem. You just paid your bill and went on with it because he wouldn't know who to contact.
Every one of these employees is really committed to their job. They had a choice. They could come here or another entity of AT&T. They chose here because they had a commitment to the Hispanic customer. They really wanted to provide the service to the Hispanic customer.
FM 94,3 Stad Radio Amsterdam.
My name is Norman Wright. I'm a field support engineer. I work for AT&T Network Systems, but I'm currently on a 2-year loan to APT, AT&T and Philips Telecommunications. Hans Fröhlich has told me that he's going to have somebody go out there and correct the wiring on the backplane.
Are you planning to go over there?
They've probably done it right, but it never hurts to check, so I'll go out there and make sure this is a pretty serious problem. APT has the contracts for most of the new switches going in the northern part of the country. I see a lot of sites. I know the Netherlands highways better than I know northern Illinois, where I lived for 11 years. I didn't want to assume that the problem was solved. I wanted to come out and verify with my own eyes that the wiring had actually followed the path.
Here we are.
I could have stayed at my desk and assumed they got it right, but I wouldn't have been comfortable until I saw it myself.
Norm has had a long time experience with the 5 ESS switch. He has a good capacity of bringing over this knowledge to other people. I think the Netherlands would have been different when he wouldn't have been here.
KABC in LA. We'll be back after this.
We invite you to visit a little island where you don't need cash or even a credit card. An island you'll want to go back to again and again. It's the Arco Gasoline Pump Island. There are hundreds all over California, all part of the PayPoint network, a network developed and designed by AT&T and Arco.
PayPoint is a means by which a customer can purchase gasoline and other services without using cash. They use an ATM card from any bank, and they can run it through. A computer checks it to make sure they have money at their own bank and automatically debits that from their checking account. And they can do it right on the island, don't have to talk to an attendant, don't have to hand off money to anybody. They can pump their gas and leave.
Your transaction travels over AT&T circuits with such speed that it's completed in 15 seconds or less.
With the design of that network, we were able to provide something that Arco couldn't do. We totally manage it for Arco, and it saved a lot of Arco resources.
We have been extremely pleased with their service and their cooperation on this project, and it has really helped us develop PayPoint into what it is today.
At AT&T, we've always been committed to helping the people of the world live and communicate better. AT&T, the right choice.
The AT&T InfoQuest Center showcases 40 interactive exhibits to over 200,000 visitors a year. Today, it's a group of fourth graders from Public School 122 in the Bronx.
My name is Gordon. You may be wondering how all these fast-moving devices are managed and controlled. Well, I'm going to explain it to you.
Planet on visual. Spent your
Spelling my name. This is the greatest place I've ever been to.
While InfoQuest gives the next generation a look into the future, there's a network of AT&T people working behind the scenes to keep employees informed and on track as the company rises to meet the challenge of a changing world. Here at Pace Press, the September 27th edition of Focus magazine is rolling off the press. Focus is the largest corporate magazine in North America. Twice each month, writers and editors burn the midnight oil to meet the deadline so that their 300,000 readers can keep up on the latest AT&T news.
It's always a major relief when the issue comes out. So today is a moment of triumph, but we have to turn around instantly and begin the process all over again.
PA, check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
While the presses are rolling at Focus magazine, video technicians are checking sound, setting up the control room, and laying cables, making sure that tomorrow's teleconference goes off without a hitch.
So far, we usually pull these off. Have a lot of happy clients.
As AT&T's Telephone Pioneers Clothing Drive goes into its second week, volunteers sort through the day's collection.
That's nice.
Pioneers donate to all kinds of people in need.
What's the next stop, Ed? Sealand Terminal. This is going for the Jamaican Relief Fund. I will have a lot more for you tomorrow. Okay. See you tomorrow. All right.
We are the front lines of the telecommunications wars.
The folks here at the Corporate Education Center are in the middle of the Business Directions Series, a seminar about change and where the company is headed. Coping with change can be difficult, but here it's actually fun.
The knots exercise starts out by tangling people up standing in a circle in a knot of hands like that. And the point of the exercise is that if people have some fun, demonstrate teamwork, and communicate with one another, they can untangle the knots, and the analog is solving problems.
For most employees, today is just another Tuesday, but for Will Brown, it's a milestone.
They could have knocked me over with a feather yesterday when I heard that Will was actually going to be retiring.
I started with AT&T 33 years ago, installing residential telephones. Over the years, I've been able to progress to middle management, and along the way have met some pretty fantastic people.
The other thing people like to know is, you know, Will, if you had it to do all over again in terms of those 33 years, would you do it any different? And my answer is no, I think I'd do it the same. with that, again, I thank you for coming today, and I'll remember all of you as we part. Thank you.
It's kind of funny. Since 10 years old, I've always been interested in computers, and when I was in college in the 60s, I came across an article in Popular Science, and what it said was scientists at Bell Laboratories are working on optical memories, and I said, wow, someday, I could help in that effort. And it's kind of ironic that here I am, 20 years later, doing the very same thing. We're trying to build an optical computer. And what's happening is at Bell Laboratories, we've discovered a way of sort of giving transistors the capability of controlling light beams as well as electrons like it used to. Optics has the fact that it can handle far more information, it can do far more connections than you can do with electronics.
I think this booster window's a little prettier.
I think computers have run out of steam because they're limited by some of the limitations of electronics. And now if we change to more advanced technology called photonics, I think we can make the computers go considerably faster. I was sort of attracted by, I think, the schizophrenia of AT&T Bell Laboratories in terms of it doesn't know whether it's doing something for AT&T or for humanity in general. I think it's very rare to find such a place where you can do it right or do something that no one else is doing. And that's why I came here.
There you have it, a typical day at AT&T. In this visit to 35 locations in 14 states and 3 continents, we've met only a fraction of the AT&T workforce. The people whose efforts put AT&T at the forefront of information movement and management worldwide. They make the company what it is today and hold the promise for what it will be in the future.
What kind of a day did you have?
Hectic, though I'm sure not as bad as yours.
I think it was a great day.
Good.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
Good night. Good night. Good night.